If someone was to ask me what is one of my favorite things about Black Clover, the first thing I can think about on the top of my head is the rivalries. In more particular, the rivalry connection between Asa and Yuno. You know, in the beginning of the Black Clover story, a lot of people compared their rivalry between Sasuke and Naruto. Like the first 2 chapters, you can definitely see that, and I also fell victim to this as well. But notice throughout the story, their rivalry is really different. If you was to compare their rivalry to any shonen rivalry in anime or manga, their rivalry definitely is similar to Hinata and Kageyama if you ever watch Haikyuu. The reason why I compare Asa to them is because it's more of a healthy rivalry relationship, where Kageyama and Hinata lift each other up. They both want to surpass each other, but they also encourage each other to become better volleyball players, while Asa and Yuno both grew up in a poor village, even though Yuno is a royal, but he didn't grow up in a Spade Kingdom. But they grew up in Hodge Village, knowing that this is labeled as low-class citizens, but they both encourage each other to become the Wizard King. But just who's going to become the Wizard King first? But they both encourage each other to become stronger Magic Knights. For a while, there wasn't a huge gap in their power levels. You know, sometimes Asa will be stronger one arc, Yuno is stronger one arc. But now, currently, Asa is definitely far superior than Yuno. But it isn't a huge concern because we already know that this is the theme of their rivalry. One surpasses the other, and the other will catch up in no time. You know, there's a lot of rivalries in Black Clover that are special, but one definitely that stands out for me in this video is Magna and Lux. However, the difference here between the rivalry connection between Luck and Magna versus Asa's and Yuno's is that Luck, since the beginning of this series until now, has always been ahead of Magna. In regards to the recent chapter, Black Clover Chapter 248, we've seen that they were both invited by Asta to train in the Heart Kingdom because their magic attributes are nature-based, since the Heart Kingdom's techniques work better with people with natural elements. But the thing that stood out with Magna in this chapter was that he was not able to create magical runes just like Luck did. Luck was able to create them easy, while Magna was having a hard time, and Gaja told him that his mana is too low and he's a stage 5. And to be able to use runes in combat, you at least have to be stage 3. So the gap between their power is already there. That was evidenced in this chapter because Luck was stated to be stage 1 when he fought Savekin, even though the spell that he did at the end definitely puts him in the stage 0 class by using true magic, which was a really powerful spell. But the biggest thing that happened in this chapter with Magna is that he walked away when he seen Luck was having an easier time creating runes and Magna couldn't, telling Magna that he will get stronger by himself and telling Asa to not chase after him because if he lets this stop him from getting stronger, then that means that was all he was worth. Now usually, Magna, every time he sees Luck do something amazing that he cannot do, he always used this as motivation. Of course he would get annoyed and upset, but he always vouched to say that he will surpass Luck and he will get stronger, he will catch up to him. Magna always acknowledged Luck's strength. During the battle in the Sea Temple arc against Veto, Magna talked about that Luck always had crazy battle instincts and he has gotten much stronger, but he vouched and said do not leave me behind because he's seen how Luck speed was keeping up with Veto without the help of Magna, and Magna's seen how naturally talented Luck has been since the beginning and he didn't want to be left behind because that's his rival. Even during the time of the aftermath of the Royal Knights exam, and Magna wanted to be accepted into the Royal Knights, but Luck got picked and he didn't. He was upset, but that didn't matter quickly because he turned around and said that I'm going to catch up to you no matter what, and he told Vanessa to train with him so he can become strong because he needs to. He knew Luck was on a road of becoming a stronger mage because he was going to get crazy battle experience joining the Royal Knights, and Magna was just going to sit on the sideline, but he knew at this time he had to train. Magna has always been inspired by people who strive to become stronger mages because he believed that is the key, that is the foundation of being a real man. He was inspired by Asta, and Asta claims that he's going to become the Wizard King in order to protect everyone. And this really touched Magna because they both are commoners. They both can relate to each other, and seeing a commoner say things like this with great determination without hesitation, this motivated Magna to believe that okay, he can do something as well, and he shouldn't give up his dreams of becoming a stronger mage because he can. Now the problem and limitations for Magna throughout the story, since he's a commoner, Commoners are known to have low mana pools, which affects how much magic they can use. And majority of the fights that Magna has been in, his magic amount is a problem. He even states to himself many times that whenever he uses so many magic spells, even though it's not as many as a noble or royal or just a normal commoner in itself, his magic, he talks about that, is running on empty. And which makes sense why he is a stage 5, even though I would have guessed that he's a stage 4 mage, but people try to make the argument that there is no way that he can be a stage 5 because he inflict damage on elf luck, even though Magna states in himself that the real luck wouldn't have got hit by this because he would have known that Magna would do something this crazy and this dumb with his flame magic. Stage powers may, determine how strong a mage can be, but it really doesn't tell the full story because Nero even states that ability alone isn't the true measure of our power. Because Nero, who is a stage 6 mage, has strong magic powers. So I feel as though magic stages should have never been a thing in the story, but I feel like that is a whole different discussion in itself because it confused a lot of the community. But I was just say that for a whole different type of video. But now we know that Magna walked away from the Heart Kingdom from training with luck because he couldn't take the fact that luck is so ahead of him. Where does Magna fit in now? You have these characters who are Dark Disciples and Dark Triads who are all stage 0 characters, arcane, devil powers. Where exactly does he fit in this whole fight now, in this whole arc? Because we know that majority of the Black Bull members are arcane stage, or even if they're not, they are very strong or they have an important role. How can Magna become stronger and use this as motivation to contend with the villains of this arc? Well, one thing we do know is that he is with Zora. And it was mentioned that they have been spending time together a lot over the past 6 months. So what could Magna be learning from Zora? What I can see happening is that Zora's father was good at using fire magic. He was a fire magic mage, but he also utilized that with trap magic. Zora, who has ash magic, also utilized his magic abilities in the forms of traps as well. So it's not impossible for any mage to learn trap magic, no matter other magic attribute. So of course Magna can also learn trap magic as well with Zora. However, he will have to utilize it in a way where it matches his fighting style. And even the elves had a hard time dealing with trap magic, so trap magic is very powerful. But I still think that's not enough for Magna to become stronger. I also see him training with Mereoleona Fuegoleon. We've seen in the most recent episodes that the Crimson Lions went to the hot spring and Mereoleona took few people to train with them in Black Clover episode 132. And we've seen that Magna didn't even know what mana skin was. So we know that during this 6-month time skip, he has to know some type of mana skin now. He probably mastered it at this point. And we know that once a mage master mana skin, they can develop even new spells. For example, how when Noelle mastered mana skin, she also developed Valkyrie Dress. And in Yuno's case, he developed Spirit Dive. So Magna can also master mana skin and also develop a form of a variation transformation with his fire magic. Magna is very creative with his flame magic, but one thing that he lacks is power. Now Leo, on the other hand, another young fire mage user, of course he has the advantage because he's a royal, but one thing that he has advantage of is raw firepower. And now that we know that he trained in the Heart Kingdom during those 6 months and learned rune magic, we're going to see true fire magic from Leo. Since we know that Magna most likely stayed in the Clover Kingdom with Zora to train, I can see that his mentor during this 6-month time skip could have been Mereoleona Fuegoleon, but more so he can learn a lot from Mereoleona since they both brawlers. She can teach Magna to use his flame magic to a higher degree without using so much of his mana pool. We've seen that Mereoleona has her strongest spell is Cladis Brechium Purgatory, where her flames become blue flames, which increases her raw power, which Magna needs. I can see Magna learning that, which would be a cool addition to his arsenal. She can also teach him Mana Zone, where he can cover an entire battlefield with his flame magic buckshot or even his flame magic scatter shot. But even with all of this power-ups, Magna would still be a little behind Luck because Luck now can use rune magic and can use true magic. But this may even the odds if Magna masters Mana Zone, because we've seen how Yami mastered Mana Zone and took it to another level. We've seen what he did to Dante, so that may even the odds here, and especially too if he learns it with trap magic and develop blue flames if he gets trained by Mereoleona. So there's a lot of possibilities here for Magna, and I think Tabata knows that This needs to be addressed. Magna needs a power up, and I believe his time will come. But other than that, that's my thoughts on this. You guys comment below and tell me what you think about this. What kind of power-ups do you believe Magna can learn during the 6-month time skip next time we see him again? If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe with notification bells on. And also follow me on Twitter, that's in the description. Join my Discord, that's in the description as well too. Again, like, subscribe, have an awesome life, take care of yourselves, and I'm out.